Hey guys, before we get into the video, quick shout out to the sponsor of the channel. Starting off with Imperium Duelist, they have everything from sleeves, dice, mats, everything you can think of for TCG apparel. Use code SAKO10 for 10% off. And then Dueling Guard as well, use code SAKO5 for 5% off. Hey guys, Lucas Sako here. Today I have a updated combo tutorial for one of the best decks coming up into this next upcoming format. And that deck is Fiendsmith Maliss. This deck is absolutely insane, has a lot of ability to push through hand traps, play through board breakers, and honestly, it just sets up a lot of different disruptions, and it plays through more things than the pure Maliss deck. The big difference is that you are playing less non-engine in order to fit in the Fiendsmith cards, but you're making up for that because you have a little bit more consistency. When you do draw just the Fiendsmith stuff, you're getting to like 3 disruptions still. Not to mention you have 4 other cards in your hand that aren't combo with just Maliss cards, so it's probably equaling more than just that, you know. I'm just going to go straight into the video. We can start off with some of the combos here. This is our 1-card Dormouse combo. We're going to start off with normal summoning Dormouse, and using the effect here, we're going to banish the White Rabbit from our deck and use White Rabbit to special summon back. And then on the summon of White Rabbit, we're going to use the effect to then set TB11. For basically every Maliss combo in every variation, you're always going to go to Haggard Lizard Rose immediately after doing this. You're going to banish your Dormouse, you're going to summon back, and the reason that you're doing this basically every single time is because this is the one that plays through hand traps the best, right? They can't really interact with Haggard Lizard Rose. You're getting your Dormouse to special summon back and summon 4, so then summon 5, which is going to be your Red Ransom. You can't get Nib before then, you know. So we're going to make the Red Ransom, search for Maliss and Underground, and we're going to play around Nib pretty hard in this combo here, by actually not activating Maliss and Underground until we have everything set up that we're wanting to do, right? And that's kind of how we do it in the other combos too, but in this build we're actually able to achieve a little bit more depending on when they actually decide to Nib us. So we're going to go ahead and activate TB11, banishing the Red Ransom, summoning out Chessy Cat from our deck, and then we can trigger the effect of Red Ransom to special summon back and banish a Dotscaper. Next step, we're going to trigger the Dotscaper effect here to special summon back. So from here, if you have a few other extenders, you can push through a lot, and even in with the full Fiendsmith combo, but this is technically the best time for them to nib. If they do nib you here, you're still going to be able to use Maliss Underground, banish your Chessy Cat. You can turn the token into a Link Spider, go Splash Mage, end up full comboing them. You know, you can get to the White Binder. White Binder sets a trap, and that's really all you need in order to get to an inboard with this deck, you know. But if they don't decide to nib you here, if they wait a little bit longer, you're going to get more and more advantage. We're going to link away the Dotscaper, go into Link Decoder, link away the Red Ransom, Link Decoder, and Chessy Cat, go into a White Binder, and now we're going to get the effect of Link Decoder. From this point on, if they nib you, you're always going to get something more. If they nib you right here, you're going to have Maliss Underground, banish the White Binder summon back, White Binder, banish the Chessy Cat summon back. Now you have 3 bodies instead of 2, which means you can do the full like Fiendsmith combo and then proceed to go into like your inboard with IP and whatever you want to do there. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and activate the effect of White Binder, setting the GWC 06. Once you have that set, you can basically be confirmed that your opponent doesn't have nib because they're going to try to nib you before to stop that card from setting. We're now going to link away the White Binder and the Link Decoder. Link Decoder is going to get banished, so remember that. Into Moon of the Closed Sky, we're going to link away Moon into Requiem, and then activate Requiem's effect here to tribute itself. We're going to summon out Lacrima, and then we can use Lacrima's effect to now dump the Engraver. So it's really important that we don't use this Engraver effect until we get to a certain checkpoint that's going to help us play around Nib and other things a little bit better. So now we have Lacrima on the field. We're going to go ahead and activate Maliss Underground, banishing the White Binder from our graveyard. We can now use the White Binder effect to pay 900 life points, special summon itself back, and draw a card from our deck. We're going to use the effect of White Binder on summon. We're going to banish a Chessy Cat as well as TB11, which is going to trigger the effect of Chessy Cat to now special summon back. So from here, if they nib you, you still have more advantage because you can go Engraver effect, special summon itself back, put the Moonway, then you can link the token and the Engraver into IP Little Knight, or sorry, IP Masquerena, and then you'll still have IP plus the trap card into White Binder, plus you'll have Lacrima to revive the Requiem, which goes back into Lacrima to Zen a trap card. So you're getting a lot more disruptions if they do decide to wait on the nib, which is why I think this build is pretty strong into this next coming format. Another thing with Maliss is it's pretty hard to know when to actually nib this deck because there's so many different combo variations and so many different extenders this deck can have, including like Bestials, you know. So now that we're here, the correct thing to do is we're going to link away the White Binder and the Lacrima. We're going to make a bow, and then we're going to use the Engraver here to special summon back. So now we've used our extender. This is where they could nib you. If they do nib you, you can chain the bow effect to banish itself, and then special summon back anything from your graveyard. It doesn't really matter what you're going to special summon. It's going to get tributed. But the main thing is that we're specialing something back and banishing a bow until the end phase. Because now, at least on our end board, we're ending with a bow, plus we have Lacrima for the trap, plus we're going to have GWC06, which is going to equal a whole lot of disruptions, you know. If they don't stop us here, we're going to go ahead and link 2 into IP. And now if they nib us, we're going to have a bow on the opponent's turn to not just pop, but we can also just use it instead to summon back the IP from the graveyard, which is going to be a whole lot of disruptions, you know. So this is it for the 1-card combo with Dormouse here. You end with a Bow, IP, trap card, set, the GWC06, and then you're going to have the Lacrima interaction to go Lacrima, special back Requiem, Requiem back into Lacrima, Lacrima dump the trap, and then trap can banish to dump Desiree. So you have a lot of different disruptions, and they're all kind of put in different spots here. So this is going to help you play around board breakers really, really well in this deck. So this is it for the 1-card combo with just Dormouse. I'm going to show you why this deck plays better into Lancia, and why I think, honestly, this build of Maliss is better than the pure build. So if you do get Lancia, most of the time you end up passing and you are praying, you know, on your knees, begging that your opponent bricked or that you have enough non-engine to stop them, you know. But with Engraver, you actually can equal about 3 disruptions, like through getting Lancia. And the cool thing is, if they do Lancia you, they can't bestial your Engraver or any of your Fiendsmith cards. So that's definitely something to look forward to, you know. So we're going to assume our opponent activates Lancia in the draw phase. We're going to go Engraver effect, we're going to discard it. We're going to go ahead and search for a Tract, and then we're going to activate Tract, adding Lurry and discarding it. Lurry's effect is now going to activate mandatorily to special summon itself back, and then we can link away the Lurry going into a Fiendsmith Requiem, and use Requiem's effect to go into Lacrima. Lacrima is now going to activate to now dump the other Engraver that's in our deck. And from now, I know you guys are really just thinking, hey, you're just going to go Necro Equip and Caesar, but that's not what actually we're going to do. Because of how this deck works and how it locks you into Link monsters, you tend to not play Sequence. You don't really play Necro Equip, you don't play Caesar, you don't play those cards that usually help you create an inboard with this. So you're just going to utilize the other forms of disruptions that are in your extra deck. The way we're going to do that is we're going to use the Engraver effect here. We're going to special itself by shuffling back the Lurry, and then we're going to link away the Engraver and the Lacrima. We're going to go into IP. So here's the disruptions on your opponent's turn. I know this looks kind of like a weak board, but here's actually what it entails, you know. On the opponent's turn, we have Lacrima effect. We're going to shuffle itself back into the deck to now special summon Requiem. We're going to activate Requiem effect to tribute itself, and now we can special summon out Lacrima again. And now Lacrima is going to dump the trap. So from here, we have IP to link with the Lacrima to go into SP Little Knight. SP Little Knight's going to activate to banish one of your opponent's cards. You're going to have the other effective SP Little Knight to tag itself out, tag out an opponent's card, and then you still have the trap card that we set up with Lacrima to go ahead banish itself to send the Desiree, and now Desiree is going to shuffle back one of your Engravers to now send an opponent's card. So that's 3 disruptions. You're getting that SP back in standby phase, not to mention you're going to have 4 other cards in your hand. So the main goal with this is just to not die, because if you have 4 cards in your hand, I'm assuming 2 of them are going to be Maliss cards, 2 of them are probably non-engine, so we're going to have a lot of gas to be able to push through our opponent's board they set up, because they're probably not going to be able to kill us through these disruptions here. And so that's honestly why I think this deck works really, really well into Lancia. So not only are the Fiendsmith cards really, really good at playing through Lancia, they're also good at just playing through regular hand traps. Usually, when you normal summon Dormouse and you activate the effect, they're going to impermanent. It doesn't really matter if you have a set card set. Like, if you start your turn and you set an Allure and then you normal summon Dormouse, they're going to impermanent, right? The only one that really punishes you, trap card wise, when you like normal summon a Maliss monster and they impermanent, the only one that punishes them is TB11. If you activate MTP07, doesn't get you far enough, you know. If you activate GWC06, doesn't really get you far enough, you know. You can't even activate it most times in this situation right here. So it's really TB11 is the one that's punishing you. In this situation, let's say they imperm your Dormouse on the effect. Now it kind of looks like we're in a bad situation here. What we can do is we're going to activate the Engraver, and the Engraver is not only going to provide us a way to extend with our Dormouse, because we still have access to Haggard Lizard Rose, it's also going to provide a way that we can play through Nib. So we're going to go ahead and go Engraver, we're going to go to Tract, dump the Lurry, use Lurry effect to now special summon back, and then we're going to link away the Lurry into Requiem, Requiem effect, and we're going to special summon the Lacrima from our deck. On Lacrima summon, we're going to use the effect here. We're going to dump another Engraver. And then from here, we're just going to go straight into Haggard Lizard Rose. We're going to go Haggard Lizard Rose effect. We're going to banish a Dormouse from our grave. And then Dormouse is going to trigger to special summon back. They're basically forced to nib you right here, right? So they've impermed your first interaction. They're nibbing you right here before you can get to Red Ransom, right? If they nib you, you still have Engraver to special summon back. You can make IP, and then we basically have that same board that we usually have through Lancia, but through a nib and an imperm, which is phenomenal. If they don't like nib you right there, then you still have a ton of interaction because you can go Red Ransom. Now you have Red Ransom here to go ahead and extend. You have the field spell, which can get you to White Rabbit because we haven't used Rabbit yet, and we still have Engraver to special summon back. So we have a lot of things that we can play through. So this deck absolutely plays through hand traps really, really phenomenally. Let me show you guys one last set combo here, and it's just going to be what one White Rabbit does. So with one White Rabbit, you're going to go ahead and start off by normal summoning it, and then you can use the effect to now set TB11. We're going to activate TB11 banishing the White Rabbit to now special summon Dormouse, and then we can use the Dormouse effect, or the White Rabbit effect to special summon itself back. So from here, we're going to have to link these two off. We're going to go into an Haggard Lizard Rose, and we're going to use the effect to banish our Dormouse, and that's going to trigger Dormouse to now special summon back. Because we have not used this Dormouse effect, we're now going to use it to banish a Chessy Cat from our deck, and then we can use Chessy Cat to special summon back. Just like all of the other variations of this deck, one White Rabbit does not play around Nib. You just have to play into it. If you draw a poor hand, you just have to play into it, but the board is going to be phenomenal, right? If they don't have exactly Nib, you are doing so much more. So we're going to go ahead and link away the Lizard Rose, link away the Dormouse. We're going to go into a Red Ransom, search for Maliss Underground. Now we can link away the Chessy Cat, link away the Red Ransom, go into a Moon, and then go Moon into Requiem, and now we can use the Requiem's effect to tribute itself. Going to special summon out the Lacrima, use Lacrima's effect to now dump Engraver, and from there we can activate Maliss and Underground to banish our Red Ransom. Trigger the Red Ransom effect paying 900 life points to special summon itself back, and then we can use that additional effect of Red Ransom to special summon Dotscaper, and Dotscaper will special summon itself back too. We're going to link away the Dotscaper, going into Link Decoder, and then with Decoder, Red Ransom, and Lacrima, we're going to make our White Binder, and trigger the effect of Decoder to special summon back. From here, we're going to go into the White Binder's effect to set GWC06. We're going to link away the Link Decoder, as well as the White Binder, to go into SP, and we're going to SP banish our Binder. Now that we've done that, we're going to trigger the Binder effect to now special summon back. It's going to get us a draw while doing this. And now the next thing we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to activate the White Binder to banish the TB11, and then we're going to use Engraver to special summon itself back. So a few other things that you can do here now to make the board a little bit better. We can go ahead and link away all of our monsters into Hearts of Cryptor, and we can do this. The other option is you can go ahead and link them all into a Bow, and then use a Bow to banish itself and bring back SP Little Knight. So there's a few different things that you can do right there when it comes to boards, but I think the Hearts of Cryptor version is better. It sets up a boss monster banish, plus you have the GWC06, plus you have the Lacrima and Requiem send. So there are a few different forms of disruptions you can have with that board. Or the Avow board is also good because it gives you a little bit more follow-up because of the Avow draw in the next standby phase. So you're basically choosing between a Hearts of Cryptor with a card in hand, or SP Little Knight and Avow with no card in hand. That's really the choice here. But either way, the board still has a lot of disruptions depending on what you want to do board-wise. That's going to be it for the video, guys. I appreciate you guys watching. If you guys wouldn't mind liking, commenting, and subscribing, I would really appreciate it. But most of all, I just hope you guys have an absolutely fantastic day. Thanks. Bye-bye.